Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is March 20th, and this is Overgrowth Weekly number 14. I am Silverfish, and with me today is Anton Reel and John Graham. So say hello, guys.
Hey, guys.
Howdy.
So how's the weather?
It's raining like crazy.
It was raining like crazy last night, but there's a brief break in the weather for us up in San Francisco now.
So we're getting all of your residual rain, huh?
Yeah, there were big winds last night.
Crazy.
A little bit of hail.
Mm-hmm.
This is our radioactive rain from Japan, from the first storm that's blown across the Pacific.
Yeah,
I heard rumors about that. I feel like some people, I heard in some state in the Midwest that they're having tons of radiation pills getting consumed. They're selling off the shelves like crazy, but
Yeah.
I'm not really following it.
Well, the thing is you really shouldn't be taking all those radiation pills. Those are really designed for radiation treatment things within 24 hours, and it should really be supervised. And a lot of people actually have allergies to, it's called potassium iodide, and it prevents one type of radiation sickness, which is thyroid cancer and all this other stuff. But the thing is that we're...
Was it the iodine or something? They're high
Well, the radioactive iodine is called iodine 131, I think, and it gets in your thyroid, so potassium iodide will hold the place in your thyroid so the iodine 131 can't get in there or something like that. So it prevents it.
So do you think there will be radiation in Overgrowth?
Sorry. Well, how do you think the animals mutated? I think that really it was an earthquake and a nuclear reactor that spawned the development of the animal races.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually, a bit, I suppose.
I've heard a few theories about that, but I don't know if I can say confirm or deny.
Well, if David is listening now, you have my new theory.
All right.
Yeah, so you'll have to incorporate that into the story somehow, I guess. But we should probably move on to, the agenda and stuff.
Let's do that.
And first up, we have, as usual, the weekly alpha segment, and we'll be taking a look at what's new in alpha 122. So let's see here. So we'll just go through what's new and do some commenting, and I'll try to show it in the game as well. Okay, so first off, you can create waypoints, and you can save, load, undo, and redo waypoints as well. And so I'll show that in a minute. You can also connect the waypoints, connect characters to waypoints, and they can apparently read path in script. Okay, I didn't go through this beforehand, which I should have, but I didn't have a lot of time. So anyways, they can read path in script. Do you know what that means, John?
I think it means that there's the ability to edit the path, or like the waypoints in the script, but I haven't actually explored it directly.
Oh, so we could, so we can like use the script to change how the characters interact with the waypoints?
I think that's, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
I think there's probably something right now that stores the waypoints in the XML files. So to that extent, you could, go into the XMLs and tweak them, but I think there's probably some ports David's been putting into the scripting layer directly.
Right.
Yeah. And next point is the characters return to patrolling when hostility ends, which is kind of cool. One more step towards making games. And Control Z does not cause ragdoll, even though Z does. That's just a minor fix there.
Although I found that was not completely true on my machine, which was kind of weird.
So not completely true? Do you mean that it didn't...
Like, if I hit Command Z, Control... I'm on a Mac, so if I hit Command Z, my character would ragdoll briefly, but if I continued to hold Z, it would not continue to ragdoll. if that makes sense. So it would still start the ragdoll animation, and then it would sort of stop.
Okay, I see.
Interesting.
And the other weird thing that I got with the waypoints is that when I connected the character waypoint to the, if I connected the character to one of the waypoints and then I went into Rabot mode, the connection line did not go away. So that was another weird waypoint issue I had. I don't know if you had that issue too.
I'm going to be honest and say that I haven't tried that out yet. So do you remember how to add and remove waypoints?
They're control click, and then when you have to connect them, you hold Alt. When you have one selected, hold Alt and then click on another one.
Yeah, this is a very good situation for me.
It should be the same experience, I think, as drawing bones on the 3D meshes in the original animation editor.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah, so okay, I get it. So let's try this out here in the game. Oh yeah, this works. Great. Great! Okay, let's add a character. Characters. Guard. Boop, and then we connect him. So yeah, works. I wonder what decides which direction he runs in, though.
I'm guessing that that's something in the script you can maybe affect.
I think it'll be affected by how you start it. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so there he goes. Works fine. Yeah, and that's basically the biggest new feature in this week's alpha. I actually forgot to tell you guys in the stream who John is. I mean, you probably know that Anton is the guy who's helped Wolfire out with a lot of the music stuff. He's been on, he's an official co-host now, as you probably know. But John, we should probably tell the people who you are in case they don't know. So, yeah, who are you, John?
Oh, hey, so I'm John Graham. I've been basically the PR dude, coffee operations officer for Wolfire. Been trying to help out with everything that isn't direct development, so that the other guys can focus on making the game faster and better. And then recently been helping out with a new company Jeff and I started called Humble Bundle to try to raise money for independent developers and charity.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go into that, all those things later in the show when we'll be doing the interview with you. So now you know that John is actually quite a big deal because he's the first actual Wolfire employee to be on Overgrowth Weekly, so that's a great honor, and of course everyone in the community knows who John is. So
it's a great honor for me. I appreciate you guys having me on the show, and it's really cool to been watching these for a while now. It's really cool to see how far you've taken it. It's really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man, and I hope to take it even further very soon. Okay, but let's move on to the next part, because I think that's about it for this week's alpha, actually. Let's see, waypoints, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay.
Does Control Z right now trigger the ragdoll state for you?
Let's see. Nope, no ragdoll when I press Control Z.
So it must be some Mac-related stuff. Alright,
Yeah.
I might report a bug.
Mm-hmm, you should probably do that.
Yeah, I might wait.
It's probably just something very simple, but yeah.
That guy's like the Energizer Bunny. Do you remember him? Never gets tired. Oh, you made him fall. I saw you made him fall.
What did you say?
I saw him fall for a little bit.
Yeah, I just pressed the Z. I wanted to check so that the ragdoll thing worked. But yeah, or he just ran out of batteries, I don't know. Okay, so let's move on to the next part.
I could see somebody making a clock mod or something based on some rabbit cycles.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the advanced functionality of the scripting stuff. We won't be needing, to use the waypoint stuff in the future. Hopefully we will be able to make our own, clocks just using the script. It'll be sweet. Okay, so next up on the agenda is Art Asset Overview 9, and there was actually no Art Asset Overview this week, so not a lot to be said there. So hopefully there will be one next week if he has something to show us, but yeah.
Should be some good stuff cooking.
Awesome.
I don't want to spoil it early and spill one week into the next, but I've seen some things.
Whoa, dude. That sounds awesome. So yeah,
I guess we could look at Marcus's or something, but
yeah, we'll
I think
get
that's
to that.
coming up.
We'll get to that.
not bad.
No problem, man. You can go to OGWeekly.com and check out the agenda there.
I'm watching the live stream.
Okay. So that brings us to the community segment, which is where we take a look at what's going on in the community. And first off, we have the fan art watch as always. But this week, there have been no new fan art. Which I think it's the first week ever where there has been no new fan art. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. So I hope to see some more of that next week. All you art dudes, we need some more fan art. And then that brings us promptly to the interview with John. So this is where I'm going to ask John some questions, and if you in the chat have some questions for John, or if Anton, if you have any questions for John or anything like that, just, ask. And in the chat, if you ask, we'll try to, take a look at their question and ask him if we see it.
Right.
Yeah, so let's get right into this. I'm going to start out with some basic questions here, like, where do you live?
I'm in the Bay Area near San Francisco, in California of the U.S.
So how does this Wolfire, how are you spread out? Because you're not all in the same place, right?
Yeah, we started off by all trying to live in the same apartment building, which was pretty cool actually. Made it very easy to have high bandwidth communication. But then after a year of that, we decided to spread out a little bit and pay less money in rent and stuff. And it turned out that working online, we still were able to communicate very well anyway. And even when we were all in the same place, we ended up using instant messaging to chat most of the time anyway. So it's kind of it doesn't really matter where we are. We can still communicate and get everything we need to done because everything happens in the digital realm anyway. But yeah, right now, David, Jeff, and myself are in the Bay Area, and Aubrey is in Oklahoma.
Okay, so you and David and Jeff in Bay Area, and Aubrey is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
We hope he'll come back at some point.
Oh, so you're planning on everyone getting together in the same location in the future?
I think we may end up that way.
Okay, that's cool.
We'll see.
It gives it more of a studio, gaming studio kind of feel. I know Aubrey's doing some freelance work, and I guess that's how he got into Overgrowth as well, right?
Yeah, I think David and Aubrey could tell you the story better than I can, but basically when David was working on the sequel to Luguru in college, made that prototype you've probably seen of the rabbit running around on the grass and whatever, and he was posting updates on the blog and such, and I think he and Aubrey met by way of, contract work, but then Aubrey was really interested in kind of the Overgrowth world and was able to make a lot of cool prototypes for everything, and so together they started collaborating and exploring the space. And unfortunately, David didn't have time to finish Luguru 2 when he was in college, but when he graduated, that's when we all got together and started up full time to create to begin work on Overgrowth.
Yeah. Okay, but it's cool to hear that you're planning to, move all of you move to one place in the future. So okay, next basic question: how old are you?
I am now 25.
And you pretty recently, like a month ago or something, you turned 20. You turned that, right?
Yeah. Yep. My birthday is Abe Lincoln's birthday.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he had
And
a
my
pretty
brother's.
beard. That's right.
Does your brother have an awesome beard as well, Anton?
No, he does not.
Because yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember John's birthday because he and my brother were born the same day, the same year,
Oh, that's cool.
etc. Kind of crazy.
Yes, indeed. And I guess Abe didn't he have a kind of a cool beard as well?
Oh, you bet he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't remember the full backstory, but I think his beard helped hide his face a little bit. But it was definitely a manly beard. And I heard he was a wrestler too.
Whoa.
So he's pretty badass as far as presidents go, is my understanding.
Yeah. And maybe you sharing his birthday had some kind of influence on your beard or something like that. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a correlation of some kind.
Yeah.
I won't argue causation yet, but
I heard he dyed it pink. Just what I heard.
Yeah. Maybe that your birthday should be the day of the beard in the Wolfire community, or is that the day when you got your beard pink?
The pink beard happened a little over a year ago when we did the organic indie pre-order pack with the awesome guys at Unknown Worlds with Natural Selection 2. And then in the aftermath of dyeing it pink, because we broke 1,000 sales in the week of the promotion, Anton was up here and working at Skywalker Ranch, and he found a way to allow Aubrey and myself to visit, and I still had the pink beard though, so I felt a little bit unprofessional surrounded by all these super gifted, super professional musicians and composers and sound engineers, and I was marveling at the whole process, and I was there with my pink beard kind of sitting in the corner watching it all go on. But Anton was very nice, and I don't think anybody really had a problem with it, but I felt a little bit awkward.
The cool thing is that you were there with a bunch of musicians, so you didn't have a mohawk, so we were wondering what was going on.
Yeah. I only went halfway. Wasn't even close to the maximum threshold.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
There's a chat or a question in the IRC, John. They want to know what formal education you and the team have, and was it worthwhile to your progress on the game, basically?
That's a very interesting question. So I think it would be really interesting to hear Jeff's perspective on this. But what I would say, I don't really want to speak on behalf of the team, is that when it comes to game development, it doesn't really matter so much what grades you got or what classes you take. It's more about what you can do. So I think that rule generally applies. Personally, I got an economics degree at Yale right before I started working at Wolfire, and I think it's not really directly relevant. I feel like education is more valuable in terms of teaching you how to learn, how to be organized, how to process information, how to work towards a goal, how to work with other people, etc. I think that's kind of a lot of where the real value is. But in terms of nitty-gritty classwork, I'm not sure that it directly applies. And even for from David's perspective, I believe David went to Swarthmore, and I think he double majored computer science and psychology or something. But it's my understanding that most of the stuff that David knows that applies to game design, he taught himself. So, I mean, it's nice to know how to think. I think we did a blog post about this, 6 tips for becoming a game developer or something. I think it's mainly that you just have to go out and do it. You shouldn't rely on a class or a course or an education to put you in position to make games. It has to come from within, I think.
everything.
Hopefully
I was going to say that everything you need to become a game developer is already available on the internet if you just have the the determination to seek out that knowledge and acquire it.
Yeah, that seems to be the major key ingredient.
I agree. For not that I'm really part of the team, sort of, but of course for me in music, I also went to school for it, and a lot of what actually got me jobs when I moved to Los Angeles in the film world and television world was my practical experience in relation to what I was doing. So even though I was at school and I was in a place where I was learning technical information, I also worked in a recording studio and did a lot of tech work on computer labs and installing software and how all that works together, and just having that environment where I was able to sort of build things and really kind of experiment with the technology I'd be using before I was required to do it professionally was also a very useful time spent. But you don't have to do that in school. You can just do that. However, practical experience is really important in the music world.
Mm-hmm. And actually, just I thought about something earlier when we were talking about, seeking out the knowledge. David wrote in a blog post somewhere before that when you're taking these college courses or university thingies, you should try to, apply what you're doing to what you want to do. So, for example, if you're like he was making basically Luger 2 at the time, which was later scrapped, of course. But he made his own engine, and he applied all the classes and stuff like that, made all the work in his own engine to test it out and stuff like that. So everything that he learned, he applied, in practice to, what he wanted to do. So that's also something that you can do with these formal educations.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Games are such a versatile medium that at the end of the day, everything can apply to them, whether it's music or storytelling or psychology or whatever. History could be directly applicable to help you creating the lore for a universe or a plausible world or something. It all can relate if you have the vision to see how it can fit together.
Totally. Okay, so what do you actually what do you do for Wolfire? I mean, I know you do the PR stuff and stuff like that, I've heard. But what do you do in a day? You wake up and then you...
Yeah, so traditionally I was more active on the YouTube channel, but David and Aubrey have done a great job of with the weekly updates, and we've seen a tremendous surge in interest in response to that. So I've taken more kind of a behind-the-scenes role, but I generally do business development, customer service. I help out with bookkeeping and other stuff like that, just kind of the administration operations stuff that's not on the outside. But I'm also I'm the field agent at conferences. You guys have probably seen the talk I did with Aubrey at Fantastic Fest. And just sort of whenever there's a need that's not development, I try to jump in and fill it.
Okay. About the videos, though, will you be doing any more videos? Because I know everyone loved your videos.
I definitely want to. My traditional format was showing off the new features, and I think David and Aubrey are doing a fantastic job at that. But if I have a few ideas cooking for things I might be able to contribute. But I think there's something really special about hearing what's being added to the engine directly from the the developer in charge of whatever feature it is himself, So, but yeah, I should be able to get a few silly videos going here and there. And then also, I've started focusing more on Humble Bundle. I think that's probably going to be my take up a lot of my time now, because I think that's something that, well, I guess when you do the analysis, it's probably the most valuable use of my time in terms of helping developers and charity and building this infrastructure that really helps independent developers, I think. So that's kind of what's on my plate at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. About the Humble Indie Bundle, though. So you and Jeff are doing kind of your own thing, I suppose, with the Humble Indie Bundle. And you're going to make a Humble Indie Bundle number 3 at some point, right?
Right. I heard things.
Yes.
I have nothing to report at this time.
Oh, so nothing, no dates, nothing special?
I wish I could give you a juicy tidbit, but my advice would be to check out humblebundle.com and subscribe to the mailing list so that you can be notified right away if anything should happen.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that, of course. So, about the beard, though.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is quite important. The beard was a very important part of the whole indie community. At least I think so, and I think the rest of the Wolfire community will agree with me on that. And I even posted a link in the forums to where it was mentioned in podcast 17. I think I talked about that last week. And you've heard that, right? You listened to that part? John?
I'm not sure I remember the portion in question. Can you remind me?
It's I posted a link in the Wolfire forums where Puny Human, the developers, they were talking about your beard and how he loved.
Oh yeah, I heard that clip. That was cool.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of it has to make you understand how important your beard is. It might help you give to get some perspective on the whole situation.
Yeah.
So
I guess it kind of goes back to my role on the team. I thought that it was pretty important early on. I think with other genres, like say an indie music band or something like that, part of the process is kind of putting your own face on what you're doing and letting people get to know you as a character or as a person along the way. And sometimes I feel like independent developers have a tendency to just, shut themselves off in a cave somewhere and work on a game and then walk out one day and, try to say, here's my game world, don't you love me? But really, it seems like it's better to, tell the story along the way and reach out to people a little bit more. And so, yeah, I guess the beard is sort of just one example of that kind of phenomenon. And I've definitely had a lot of fun, chatting with visitors to the site directly, helping customers and people who are just stopping by that are interested and telling them more about what we're doing. So I think that's kind of an important part of the process. And I don't know how to keep track of all the hours that I logged on Meebo and stuff. I've shown the silly posts, but a good chunk of my time has been doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But the real question, though, is about the beard. Will it be coming back, do you think? Do you think the beard will be making a comeback at some point?
Right now, it's about a quarter of an inch. It came back briefly, just this week, actually. I don't think it's going to come back full strength for a while, but it's too bad that I can't stream in an image of myself in an easy way. But it has come back a little bit, and it's dangerous because I kind of like it. My mom hates it, and I feel like when I managed to find a girl that I can take out to dinner or something, they don't tend to like beards very much either. So I'm hesitant to grow it back full force, but it could happen. Could happen someday.
I really hope you do, because yeah, we all love the beard, right? And if it does come back, you know, if it does do come back, my English is so great. If it does come back at some point, do you think you will be, you know, pinkifying it again, perhaps?
Not sure. I'm not sure that's a good idea, but and I feel like it's been done too. So it'd be strange, I think, or not strange, but boring to try to repeat the same old. But I bet there could be some kind of facial hair related promotion of some kind in the future.
Yeah, I hope we'll see some of that. I was just thinking because, you know, pink beard, no, it's quite important. But anyways, do you have any questions, Anton?
Not about the beard.
No, but I mean in general, just...
I will say it was pretty weird going to GDC this year and seeing all our game developer friends, and everyone was doing a double take because they heard the voice, and this guy was like walking up to them like he knew them, but they didn't recognize who the heck he was, and then they heard my voice a little bit, like, oh, that's John. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But it was dramatically different for to be in because I was kind of the beard guy in conferences past, but.
Yeah, did anyone have like an emotional breakdown when they saw the beard was coming?
No emotional breakdown.
That's kind of weird.
Though I went through a postpartum depression when I lost the beard. I think it took for a week. It took an emotional toll on me.
Yeah, I can understand that, and you know, we all share your grief, I guess. I don't know how to say that in English. But you know what I mean.
That works.
Okay, so as just a last question for you, this is kind of a thing right now in OGWeekly where we ask...
I lost you there. There was some like internet lag. Can you start again?
Yeah, sure. So one last question. It's been kind of a thing on OGWeekly to ask the people we interview, if you were in the world of Overgrowth, what animal would you be, and what would you be doing?
Hey, that's a cool one. I would be a dog. I would have a kilt and either a giant axe or claymore, and I would try to get things done by brute force.
Sweet.
With my blunt, slow-wielding, heavy weaponry. But I would also have a sense. I would not try to be an evil person. I would try to defend truth, justice, and freedom.
Okay, so that sounds awesome. And that actually wraps up that interview, but you will of course stay with us for the rest of the weekly, and you know, keep commenting on stuff. So thanks for that interview, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you having me on the show, and you guys are doing a great thing here, and anything we can do to contribute would be pretty awesome. We might be able to get some of the other guys on the team on here at some point too.
Yeah, totally. That would be awesome to have at some point in the future. So we should probably move on with the agenda here then. And next up is Black Stormy's Animal Run animation. Let's take a look at what's behind that link. So this is Black_Stormy.
My name is Black Stormy. I've been...
And he made an Animal Run animation for Overgrowth, as you can see here in this video. And I do have some coding skills. I'm not really a coder, but I do know how code works and stuff like that, so I decided to try to put some of that coding skill to the test and see if I could make a Lugaru style control scheme for the Animal Run animation that Black Stormy made. So I did do that, and it worked. With some help from David on where to put some of the code, I managed to make that work. So let's check that out in the game. It looks like my game has crashed, so that's weird. Let's start that up again. Okay. So this is a bit more advanced than my previous attempts at coding. I did like a small camera mod and stuff like that. It was like 2 or 3 lines of code. It's changed.
Silverfish, there's no picture.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Yay. Thanks.
No!
Sorry. Okay, now there's a picture. Awesome.
Boom.
Okay, I was showing a video of a Animal Run animation made by Black_Stormy on the forums, but that doesn't really matter that you didn't see that because I'm starting up the game right now and I'll be showing it to you live instead, which is so much more awesome. Okay, let's take a look at this. So here you have the animation. It's, yeah, Animal Run animation. It looks very much like the one from Lugaru, and there are a few problems with it right now. I don't know if the... I think it's...
Awesome.
The, for example, he doesn't look up or down, if you know what I mean. He doesn't, you know, align with the terrain when he runs up and down stuff and stuff like that. But in his video, he had just replaced the normal run animation with the animal run animation, but now I made it so that you need to stand still, or you don't need to stand still, you just hold shift and move in any direction and let go of shift, just like in Lugaru, and you'll start doing the animal run. And it will be a bit faster than the normal run stuff as well. And so that's basically it.
It's a very cool mod.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Thanks, man. I'm very proud of it. It has to be the most hardcore mod so far for Overgrowth, I suppose. This was how many rows? Like 20 or between 20 and 30 lines, I think. So it's not anything super huge, but I'm still very proud of it.
That's cool,
Right.
though.
Well, I also think it's the first animation that we've seen that's available to the players to download.
Yeah, Black_Stormy did a great job with the animation, and I think he's the first person also who actually got an animation into the game at all.
Since they switched to Blender, I agree.
Oh yeah, of course, because before anyone could make an animation, like, very easily.
Yes.
So yeah, well done by Black_Stormy, and well done by me, and well done by the Wolfbar team for making this awesome stuff.
Awesome.
And that's about it for that one. What were you saying, John?
Oh, I just said, yeah, that's sweet.
And next we have a tutorial by Black_Stormy, actually, where he shows how to make how to make a custom animation, how to make and import a custom animation from Blender to Overgrowth. So not only did he give, you know, his own animation to the community, he also made a video showing how you can make your own. So that's super awesome. I'll totally be checking out this at some point and make my own animations, because I like doing those kinds of stuff. So very, very awesome stuff.
Yeah, he also catches some little quirky things in Blender that if you are just learning the program might help get you on the right track. I did watch through this tutorial, and it is, I think, pretty good.
Yeah, it's a really good tutorial, especially since it's in video form. You don't miss anything. There is no risk of you, you know, missing a step or anything like that. You can see everything. So I really like video tutorials. I've made a lot of video tutorials myself for the Source Engine, because, you know, video is so much better than, you know, just text and pictures.
For sure.
So again, well done by Black_Stormy. I hope he'll be keeping making stuff for Overgrowth, because he's a very talented guy, and there are not too many people in the community right now who are doing mod stuff. So yeah, I hope he'll be staying and doing more stuff for us.
He says in IRC that he will.
That's awesome, because if you think about it also, this has been the first collaboration in the Wolfbar community, right? Because he made the animation, I made the code, and, you know, it's like almost a mod team of sorts.
It is, although you did make that face for the Titans level also.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Little collaboration going on there. I think you're the big collaborator.
Yeah, that might be. I'm kind of obsessed with Overgrowth, I guess. I just want to get the whole mod thing going, so I want to collaborate with anything. If someone makes something cool, I want to, be part of it and try to get, collaboration going so people can make stuff happen.
And beyond that, I think just highlighting everything on the show is really awesome too, so people can. It seems like this is kind of the canonical way for everybody to keep track of the major developments and overgrowth on the modding scene every week. So that in itself is already super valuable. Not to mention that you're going in and crushing the actual modding itself.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's what I want this show to be. And it's kind of easy to keep up with everything that's going on right now, but in the future, I hope there will be so many that I won't be able to keep up. That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
Okay. So again, that's the custom animation tutorial by Black Stormy. You should check that out. It's in the agenda right now. You could go to, let's see, go to YouTube and go to this guy. ABRYTHENABRY. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but yeah, check that out. If you're watching this in the archives, that's what I'm talking about. Since those they won't have the links, maybe. Anyways, let's move on to the next point in the agenda, and that is that Marcus's old China assets have been released. So that's sweet. And Wolfire actually made a blog post about this, and there's a nice little video going through the art assets. We have been going through the art assets quite a few times in Overgrowth Weekly already, and I don't think anything has really been added since we last took a look at it, so I won't be showing this full video with the audio and all that. But yeah, again, a very, very nice job by Marcus. He's been one of those, very active guys by making content for Overgrowth, so that's always very appreciated, and I'm sure a lot of people will have use of his custom assets. They're very awesome. John, do you think there's any chance of these ending up in the actual game in the future?
I think we definitely want to do whatever we can to support the modding scene. I don't know if we'll want to accept third-party assets into the core campaign or not, but this is certainly an extremely impressive set of assets that I was completely blown away since the first video Marcus made just showing what he was doing. This stuff is really cool. And it meshes nicely with the whole modular arrangement of the map editor as well, so that anybody can now take this library and make whatever they want from it. So I guess we'll have to see, but this is just blows me away. Marcus, you're awesome. If you're watching this right now,
I totally agree. Very, very awesome stuff.
Word.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Jeff a while ago. I think I mentioned this before, but he was talking about having a third-party, or well, some kind of online repository of assets and mods and levels and all that kind of stuff, but assets as well. So
yeah.
So if I understood correctly what he was talking about, he wanted to have it so that you could open up the editor and go to search for assets as usual, and then you didn't actually have the assets on your computer, all of them, but you would instead search in an online database, and it would be like, okay, here's the asset and here's a picture of the asset, and when you click the asset to put it in your level, it would automatically download the asset to your computer and put it in your level, and have that.
Cool. I guess the kind of the high bar I think for this kind of infrastructure is Little Big Planet. Have you played Little Big Planet?
No, I haven't.
but it's basically it's a modular map editor, and you can make levels or you can make objects that go inside of levels, and then when you complete your widget or whatever, the game can take that snapshot of what you did, and then you can easily share it online, and then other people can use it in their levels. So that would definitely be super awesome if it can get implemented tidily into Overgrowth. But it's not I'm not sure we'll be able to focus on stuff like that right away.
Yeah, might be something to add for after the release, perhaps. But still something that would be very... It would feel like a Wolfire kind of thing to do, and it would help the modding community a lot. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that one. And it would also solve this whole third-party asset thing, because it wouldn't matter if an asset is third-party or, you know, made by Wolfire. They would all be equally easy to get a hold of anyways.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to consider that.
Mm-hmm. So that's Marcus's old China assets, his set there, and it has now been released. That's what this is about. So you can go to, I guess you could go here to the Wolfire blog. It's the first post on the Wolfire blog right now, so go there and download it. If you have bought the game, that is. So yeah, awesome stuff, Marcus, as usual. Hoping to see more from you in the future. Next, we have a custom level made by Zeramulis. Is that his name, I think?
I don't even know.
Zeramulis. And the level is called Ruins. And that's the level that I have loaded here, and I haven't actually played through this yet. I was going to play through it, but then I had kind of not enough time until the show started, and I was like, maybe I could just play it through the first time on the show instead, because, you know, first time is kind of special, I suppose. So let's try to get through this one.
No, I think the goal, from what I read, is you find the... there's a green starting box there. Yeah, you already found it. And then you try and get up to the leafy area at the top, or near the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like a small grove. Up there it is. I'm looking at it right now. I think that's the place at least. So you're supposed to start at this green rock and get up to that place up there. So let's go. And he writes also that there are multiple paths to the destination, and these bushes that you see all over the place are kind of guiding you towards your goal. So if you don't know where to go, look for a bush and it will help you.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm liking how the ways that the mappers guide the players change. People are experimenting with that, so that's very exciting to see.
Yep.
And I actually found there's an Easter egg on this level, I suppose you could call it.
Oh yeah?
And I think I will be showing that later. But I'm not sure since this is an Easter egg, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll be showing it. Why not?
You seem pretty pro at this level.
I've actually never played it before. I couldn't get up there, down there, because I couldn't grab ledges, because when I right-clicked my game crashed. It seems to be a bug for some people that will be fixed in the next alpha. David helped me out there and gave me a quick fix.
Yeah, I think I saw that David has addressed that one.
Mm-hmm. So that was what was holding me back from playing the level before, earlier. I'm liking the diversity of the terrain here. A lot of different... It's not really repeating itself a lot, you know, the terrain itself. And here it looks like I made it through. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice level. Let's see. Do you think I can find any other paths to get up here? I'm sure I could do a wall jump right here and get to the end right away. It looks like my... Looks like my wall jump is kind of bugged. It's like freaking out when I do the wall jump. I think it's because I have my rabbit running thing. I should probably bring up the topic for this level. It's right there. So let's read what Zramulis, was that his name?
Something like that.
Zramulis, yeah, I think. Weird names people have. Okay, so I'm just going to read from his text what he's saying here. Okay, so my first level is ready. The goal is to get from the green rock on the bottom to the trees on the bottom left of the image. So you're supposed to get from that green rock right there to that green small grove there. There are multiple paths, and if you get lost, try following the bushes that grow on top of some of the pillars. It's not too long level, but you can try finding better routes to get to the goal faster, and I kinda like that one. I've been thinking about making a level where there are several routes to the destination. There's like an easy route and a hard route, or maybe an easy and medium and a hard route, and the hard route could be much quicker, but it's also much harder to get through in the easy route, and one can get through, but it'll take longer to get there. Stuff like that is stuff that I want to try out in my levels in the future. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to have to play around in this level a bit more to see if I can find some of the other paths here. And people are saying in the chat that it looks fun to play, and yes, it is fun to play. Just playing around and jumping around and doing parkour stuff. It's really cool.
For sure.
Okay, so that's Zramuli's custom level. I hope you'll be making more Zramulis. Something that I do think you could change is to critique this level a bit. It's looking kind of grey, of course. Kind of boring to look at. The bushes and stuff like that help make it look a bit better, but I think still that yeah, some kind of more defined art direction, I suppose, could be nice to have. But I probably shouldn't talk about that kind of stuff because my own levels are more drab than this one is. Much more drab. It's just single colored blocks and no bushes. So yeah, but it's something to think about. All in all, very, very nice level by Zramulis, and I hope he'll be making more, so I can play those as well, because I really like my platforming maps. So let's move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is a level it's not a level, it's a video made by Puka Guy, or Puka Guy, yeah. And he made a video of the level that I made. As you can see, it's a bit more colorful, but not as... It doesn't really have an art direction either.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's pretty colorful. I like it.
Thanks, man. I used the red color is from Aubrey's original hexagon color, and the rest ones are basically just blue, green, and white. And this video is cool because it's someone playing through a level that I made, so that kind of makes it kind of exciting for me. I've been thinking about, people obviously racing through these levels is something that, would be cool and probably will happen in the future. People trying to, get better times than their opposition, I suppose, than the other players.
Uh-oh. Looks pretty pink there.
Yeah, it's...
Was that another beard?
Yes, indeed. It's another beard.
Yeah.
And Blackstorm is saying in the chat right now that he's going to make me a proper cake. So I'm going to perhaps have a cake at the end of coming levels.
The cake
Well, I
is
do
alive.
Yeah, that's true, John, though. That's true. I feel like the beard and the Whaleman is kind of more Wolfire-like, though. The cake feels kind of, generic at this point.
Little Minecrafty.
Portal.
Was there cake in Portal? I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's where the cake is from.
Yeah, it symbolizes the goodness that your science is doing as you progress.
Of course.
But it doesn't taste as sweet as they first tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They lied.
And here's the Easter egg on this level that I found. Since it's kind of hidden, I'm just assuming it's an Easter egg.
Nice.
It's almost, it looks kind of like an egg. So, yeah, Easter egg. Kind of literal there. Sweet. I just forgot to throw that in there, so there you have it. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so we took a look at Puka Guy's parkour video, and I have that in the agenda as well. And if you want to check out Puka Guy's YouTube channel, I think he's got some other, he's got another Overgrowth video right here, and I'm sure he'll be making more in the future. He's Puka Guy 1 on YouTube, so check that out.
It's not a puka.
Okay, so next up, the tweets and news segment, where we take a look at what's new from Wolfire and their blog. First up, we have a tweet where Wolfire writes that they're testing out AI field of view. I'm guessing this is David, since he's the coding guy. Right now it's set it to 180 degrees, but peripheral vision does not see very far. And there's a sweet picture right here showing a rabbit, I think it is. Is it a wolf? It's something, alright, and it's got bars sticking out from his face. And I'm assuming those show his view cone. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I got an exclusive demo of some of the stuff David's working on, and it's going to be cool.
Awesome. That's sweet to hear. Do you think it'll be done for next alpha?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some field of view related features that David can show off directly in the next alpha video.
That's awesome, so look forward to that next week.
It's tomorrow. Depending on where you are at.
Yeah, for me it'll be the day after tomorrow where I get... Anyways, if you don't own Overgrowth and you can't download the alphas, then it'll be next Overgrowth Weekly. But you should probably just buy the game and check it out, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. That's www.wolfire.com/preorder. So check that out. I really like, though, how it's not, straight lines. Because I remember for example, in the source engine, there is literally a cone that the AIs have. It's not like a smooth transition from you don't see very much here, Mr. AI, to you see everything right here, Mr. AI. It's like, okay, in this cone, he sees low full vision. In this cone, he doesn't see very much, stuff like that. So having it be, fading like this from low to high is very awesome. Just shows, that David is really thinking about what he's doing when he's making these kind of things.
For sure.
Yeah, I think this will basically create what's needed for stealth, so should be really add a lot of fun gameplay very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I'll show. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure if there will be smell. Was there smell in a Lugaru?
Yes.
Because people have been saying that, and that the smell would be affected by the wind. Is that also the case?
Yes. And also
that was the case in Lugaru. So.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about, if that was the case in Lugaru, because it's very, very subtle in Lugaru, and it's not like in the tutorial it's not like, oh, there is smell as well, so, you know, check the wind direction and, you know, keep the blood off your blade.
Exactly. Little details matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do talk about it, and they also, I mean, not very much there, but there are tutorials that talk about how to locate which direction the wind is falling, and once you start paying attention to it, sneaking up on wolves becomes easier to do. You can't sneak up on them fully, but you can get closer if you are upwind or downwind of them. So, yeah.
I guess it's kind of the the reason that's in there is the same reason there are no, you know, health meters and that kind of stuff. It's just to make it feel very organic and make it feel like you're actually there and that it's an actual world. Because small things like that, I mean, if you don't think about it, it just might feel that, oh, it's random. He just detected me there and they didn't detect me there. But it's not random. It's actually just the game that's built like that. If you have the wind in your back, he's going to detect you. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's very much, you've captured kind of the spirit of Lugaru, and we hope to tap into that for Overgrowth as well.
Yeah, awesome to hear, awesome to hear. So next up we have another AI-related tweet by David also, I'm guessing. And it says that he added some line-of-sight checks to the AI script so the characters can't see through walls. And I'm trying to think about what might be needed in order, or if this is all that is needed to make, you know, real fighting levels. Because now the AI can patrol, they cannot see through walls, and they cannot see, you know, what's behind them.
Yes.
And there is Lugaru, right? You know, I mean, that's a game.
It's close.
Yeah, is there anything that you can think of that's needed in order to, you know, that's missing before we can make a level where you need to sneak up and kill everyone on the level and in order to win?
Well, I mean, the AI still can't traverse, you know, the ground very well. That still seems to be a problem.
Yeah, that's true. And perhaps, I don't know if they can lose sight of you, or if they see you, they can always see you and will follow you forever and stuff like that. But that's still like small stuff, but it's still quite important, I don't know.
True.
This is, anyways, now we're very, very close to having a real game. Now they just need to be, well, after they've added these small things, they need to make it so that we can trigger a game win on a level when something happens, and there you have
There's
it.
you don't get a win condition in the real world. So why do you need a win condition in the realistic world of Overgrowth?
Although if you go flying a lot, then you have wind socks that kind of give that away. Hey, you know I like to fly, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you suggesting would happen instead? We'd just be standing there.
You would just have that amazing sense of achievement. All of the day. I'm joking. I'm just giving you a hard time. That's one of the things that, unlike health meters, is going to go in.
Sweet. I really like my win conditions, you know.
Wind socks, I don't know though.
Well, but that's what the leaves are for, the snow, just like in Lugaru.
Yeah, that would be a subtle cue.
That's what it was in Lugaru. If you watched the snow would fall in the direction of the wind, and then the trees would or the bushes, every third wind gust would gust in the direction that the wind is blowing, or something like that.
Wow, I'm not sure I actually figured that out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's subtle.
Very subtle. I didn't know about that. I try to stay away from tutorials and stuff like that because it feels kind of like I should be discovering those kinds of things on my own. It feels kind of like cheating if I'm like, oh, using other people's knowledge in order to beat the game.
I suppose.
But yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was a pro, but I think Antone has us beat Silverfish.
It looks like it.
It's age over wisdom. No, wait, that doesn't work.
Um,
They're correlated, age and wisdom.
Age and wisdom. Right. I've been playing since I was 25, and you guys are only 25 now.
and I'm 19, so, you know, what do I know?
Exactly, you young little whippersnappers. Get off of my lawn! Alright.
Yeah. You're so old. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
not that old.
I didn't feel that Antone was very old when I tried to do sprints with him during E3 when I was staying with him for the conference, and he just kicked my ass straight up. Could not keep up with the guy.
Well, that was a lucky streak. My legs were sore for a week afterwards.
Lucky sprint.
Pretty much.
Probably took me a month to recover.
You had to go to the hospital and, like, you know, coma and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had to stay inside and play Lugaroo for hours to recover.
There is a question in the chat, John, that maybe you can answer. Is when blood and particles are going to come to Overgrowth?
I don't think people really care about blood, so I think blood is not going to be a big deal. No, I think right now David's focus is on AI, but I'm sure you saw the early the tests David was doing with the splattering against the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I can't give you an official timeline, but it's definitely a priority, and I would imagine after AI that blood would be pretty high up on the checklist.
Sweet.
Particles are already in the game, right?
Yeah, well, David already did the super meat rabbit, which was kind of bleeding all over everything, and that was emergent from the particle system that he had implemented. So, yeah, to a certain extent, the infrastructure needed for blood-like substances is already there, but integrating it with the gameplay, I guess, would probably go hand in hand with weapons, and you probably saw that David has implemented the basic physics for the weapons in terms of dropping them or doing a flip and releasing a weapon and having it soar through the air with the correct center of mass and all that. But that'll probably go hand in hand. You know, blood will probably go hand in hand with actually implementing weapons into the fighting system. So there's still a lot more to do, but we're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I really like the procedural approach to everything. Like when the Super Meat Bunny landed on the ground, the decals that it generated it didn't look like they were pre-made. It looked like they actually came from him sliding on the ground, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of people were grossed out, which I think is exactly the maximum effect that could be achieved. There are very few people that said, "Oh, that looks unrealistic. Your effects are bad." It was just like, "That's disgusting," or "That's awesome." I think I've heard David say something before to the effect that he wants people to feel bad about drawing blood. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty special when it happens.
Yeah, it kind of ties in with the pain ragdolls that we saw earlier. They're currently in the game actually.
Yeah.
And I think that when blood is added in and you know, fighting and all that, the pain ragdolls will be very, very, you know, powerful for giving the feel of that you actually did something when you kill someone.
And there was a blog post that covered the idea of choice. I think it might have been one of Wilbyfast's posts, but the topic was Splinter Cell, and how this little superficial choice about whether you bop an enemy on the head or slit their throat and kill them when you have them, you know, incapacitated is kind of a big deal to players. So I think that these kinds of effects really embellish that choice and decision-making process that the that the player has to go through. There's going to be, a few styles for getting that win condition at the end of the level, and I think that the players are going to be able to express themselves. Do I want to just disable everybody and knock everybody out, or do I want to go and brutally murder everybody on the map? And I think that'll be an interesting choice, embellished by the active ragdolls and the realistic blood and all that stuff.
Yeah, and perhaps it will tie into the gameplay of later levels as well. If you, like for example, if you killed everyone in a dog camp or something, their dog friends will be angry, and if you made them live, they would be happy for you or happy that you didn't do that.
Yeah, it would be cool to have a branching story arc, but branches are tough because you end up with an exponentially growing tree. So I guess one paradigm might be what Blizzard did with StarCraft 2, where you get choices that matter, that affect what units you get to use, but it kind of ties up again on itself in a generally linear fashion. We'll just have to explore that more. But we kind of want the path to force the player through all the things that we think are most fun experiences possible in the engine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree that the way that StarCraft 2 did it was a very, very nice way, that you could have like your choices affect what units you get, and perhaps the choices could affect just individual storylines and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, I suppose. I don't think you don't have that stuff locked down yet, do you? You're still working on all that, right?
Yeah, there's nothing set in stone that that I'm able to share at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that turns out, but I'm sure it will be great. I have not been disappointed once so far by you guys, so...
Well, thanks. We're taking it very seriously and going to work real hard on it, so I'm super excited as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think that actually is the end of this show. Do you see any questions in the chat, or something else you want to say or anything before we go? Guys?
Sorry, I was answering something in IRC.
Well, I would want to thank you, Silverfish. Should I call you Lucas or Silverfish, first of all? Haven't really figured that one out.
Whatever, whichever fits you best.
I think I should say Lucas. I want to thank you, Lucas, and you, Anton, for having me on the show and doing such a great job with this every week. And I want to thank everybody who's listening and the Wolfire community in general for making this experience even more awesome than we were expecting. So this is really cool, and stay tuned to the Wolfire blog for more updates.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, John, I should say, and thank you,
yeah,
Anton,
thanks, John,
for being on, of course. It's very much appreciated. We will very much appreciate what you do as well, of course.
Someday.
So, I mean, if you didn't do what you were doing, we wouldn't be here, so thanks, man. It's awesome. And I hope we can have you on in the future as well at some point, John.
Yeah, let me know. I don't want everybody to get sick of me, but maybe in a few more weeks could do a follow-up, or I can try to heckle one of the other guys on the team to stop by too.
That would be sweet. So yeah, that kind of wraps up the show right there. Check it out, go to Justin.tv and follow me, Justin.tv/OGWeekly, YouTube.com/OGWeekly, SteamCommunity.com/groups/SFTUT, and what else? Twitter.com/OGWeekly as well. And I think that's all. Check those out in any of the places you want to and that you're interested in. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye bye.
See you guys.
All right, thanks. Bye.